So I'm Lauren Campbell and I'm the Treatment Manager at Beacon Counselling Trust. Beacon is a mental health charity. We've been operating since 2009. We've run a number of different mental health support programmes over the years. But one of the biggest support and treatment programmes that we run at the moment and have done since 2013 now is in gambling harms. So we offer a range of free and confidential education, early intervention support, therapeutic support, and also a number of different recovery programmes as well for anyone that is at risk of gambling harms, experiencing a gambling addiction, and that's also for anybody that's been impacted by the gambling of someone else as well. So in terms of the support that we offer, it's all completely free, all confidential, and there's no waiting list to access. The support that we offer right across the North West, so Beacon is one of the treatment providers that sit within the National Gambling Support Network, and we're one of the leading providers to support people across the North West. We offer advice and guidance sessions, so that could be for anybody that feels that they are maybe at risk of gambling harms or maybe want to address their gambling to kind of minimise gambling or to keep it safe. So we can offer with some practical advice and guidance tools. We also offer one-to-one and couples therapy for anyone that is experiencing gambling harms, as well as the affected family members, partners, loved ones. So like I said, through one-to-one therapy, and we can also offer couples therapy for that support as well. We also have a range of different recovery support programmes as well, so for people who want to sustain recovery. So we offer different forms of group support sessions, so they're all kind of peer-led, and that is for anyone that is an affected other or someone in recovery from gambling addiction. We also have practical advice and guidance sessions for people who are in recovery. So, you know, once you stop gambling, for some people there's still ongoing issues that they have to kind of still address and get support for. So whether that be issues around housing, debt advice, legal issues, we have our family support worker who is able to support with linking in with other specialist services or doing some of that advocacy work and helping with some of the more practical issues that can come about as a result of gambling harm, again, either for someone in recovery or for the affected loved ones as well. We also have our Trek Therapy programme, so that is for, again, anyone that's been through our treatment service. It's our outdoor walking therapies programme, so it's a chance for people to get out, do some exercise, appreciate kind of the therapeutic elements of being outdoors. But again, it's also a space for them to be able to connect with other ex-service users and connect on that lived experience basis as well. At Beacon, we try to have this kind of whole family approach when we're looking at supporting people. It's not just that one individual affected by gambling harms. There's so many people around them that are directly impacted by the gambling as well. So for us to be able to offer that support, whether it is one-to-one or whether it's in a couple setting or as a group as well, supporting affected others for us is so important. The impact on them can be massive as well. So all of the practical issues that they could potentially go through, often the affected other is also dealing with that as well. But just kind of what they have to go through internally, we know that gambling harms, it can be so hidden for a long time. So for partners, for example, when they eventually find out about their partner's gambling and the impact that that's had, you know, the trust, as you can imagine, it can be completely broken. That it can cause relationship breakdowns, and it takes a long time to rebuild a relationship back up from finding out about something like that, especially if it did then have impact on their finances, on their housing situation, whether that person's in debt and the partner's just finding out. There's so many things that can come into play. And what we see when we're supporting affected others is they also struggle sometimes with feeling a level of responsibility for that person's gambling. They also feel guilt. They also blame themselves for not maybe picking up on things. And it's really important that we're able to work through some of those feelings that they experience, and to support them with the emotional and mental impact that it's having on them. Because like I said, it's not just the impact on the person that is gambling themselves. So being able to offer that one-to-one support to help them process things, but then, like I said, the impact on the relationship is massive. So to be able to get support through couples therapy as well, I think is massively important, to look at trying to rebuild trust, let's rebuild some of the communication, and try to work together on kind of recovering together as a couple from the harms that gambling has caused. Affected others are on their own journey. So people say, you know, for someone who's gambling, their day 100 is an affected others day 1 sometimes, you know, because they can build themselves up to then eventually tell loved ones and to work through some of this stuff, whereas, you know, an affected other might find out about someone's gambling, it could be years down the line, and that's something that we see on a regular basis. So yeah, their pathway is completely different, and they're going to be at a different stage to their partner or their family member. So being able to just focus on them and their experience, and them working through some of their own impacts, is really important. I think one of the important things at Beacon is that, number one, there's no wrong door to access the service. So people can email us, self-refer through our website, give us a ring to self-refer. They can refer through other professionals as well, whether that be their GP, whether that be through other mental health services. You know, we have referral pathways set up through a lot of other local and national services as well to refer straight into us. But no matter what door you go through, there is no waiting list to access the service. And for us, that really is so important. Oftentimes when people really need that support, they have hit rock bottom. And so the last thing that they need is to be put on a waiting list for support. They need it there and then. So when people get in touch with the service, they'll typically there and then be put through to our treatment team, who will have a chat with them, talk about what their goals are, what support they need, and they'll have a quick chat to explain all of the different types of support that we offer. Once that's happened, they are then booked in for an assessment to start the support pathway within typically within less than a week, so normally within about 3 days. Sometimes the assessment can be done there and then on that day. And then following that assessment, they are booked in for support within that week. So like I said, there's no waiting times, and that is really important for us. If people do want to get in touch with Beacon, our number's 01512260696. There will always be a member of the treatment team there to answer any questions, to talk through what support is on offer. And like I said, there's no waiting list, so if you do need support, we can put support in place for you pretty much straight away. You don't need to wait to get the support that you need. Even if the thought is there, you're questioning your gambling to any extent, it's worth coming along and just having a conversation. I think one of the important things about the support offer at Beacon is it very much is tailored to that individual. So whatever your goal is, whatever you need, we'll have that conversation. We'll do a bit of an assessment at first to understand what it is that you actually want to talk about and deal with, and we'll tailor that support for you. And like I said, that's for anyone, whether you're just questioning if it's a bit of an issue, or if you are, like I said, someone that is feeling that you're impacted by the gambling behaviour of someone else, and you want to understand it more. Maybe you want to understand how to help that person, or just talk through the impact that it's having on you as well. That support really is there for anyone.